Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this video, make sure you go ahead and hit that big red button down below. Today we're going to be talking about Joe Rothwell. Now, there's been a lot of talk recently about which loan transfers will make permanent when we go to the Premier League, what sort of players we might need. And Joe Rothwell is one where it's kind of the most contentious as to whether we should spend the money or not. I think if we do get promoted, the asking price will be in the region of £7.5 million to £10 million. I think that's what Bournemouth will probably ask for. I don't think they'll get 10 out of us. I think it's probably more like a £5 to £7.5 million deal, right? But let's talk about Rothwell first and what he's done this season. Now, Rothwell is arguably one of our best set piece takers, and he's somebody who as well has been instrumental in our attacking play. Now, when we don't have him in the team, like with the Sunderland game and with the Sheffield United game when he wasn't on the pitch, we did lack a little bit of potency going forward because we were playing with two deeper lying midfielders in Tanaka and Gruev. Now, Tanaka and Gruev, both fantastic, but they do kind of lack that get up and go to go forward like what Rothwell has. He's more of a traditional number 8 like you would imagine from early 2000s Premier League and things like that, where you have that guy who's a box-to-box midfielder. He will get back and help out, but he's also somebody who will get involved in the forward play a little bit more. Now, I think what Rothwell has done more than anything this season is highlight to us what kind of midfielder this system needs to thrive on an attacking front. So what I mean is when we sit in and have two holding midfielders in Tanaka and Gruev, we seem to lack the kind of potency that we might need to be able to go forward and to score goals. And I do think that whilst those two players are great and they will be very useful in the Premier League, Tanaka and Gruev, because a lot of the time you will be saying, okay, we've got to stay strong here and not concede. There will be moments as well where you'll need somebody like a Joe Rothwell to get you forward and to help out the attackers with having an extra body in there, because a lot of the time when we don't have Rothwell in there, we can get like zonally marked out of the game with our attacking players. We don't have enough players forward, whereas Rothwell adds that extra body in there to create 2v1s. Now, to me at the moment, it does highlight the fact that we are pretty... The system, I wouldn't say the system's fragile, but that's the only kind of way I can describe what I mean here, in that Joe Rothwell being part of the team and the attacking is a really, really key mechanism to what we do. If we don't have him in the team, we don't seem to be able to perform as well in terms of being able to break down opposition teams, which means if Joe Rothwell gets injured, where does that leave us in terms of creating chances and being able to create space in the final third? So what I'm thinking is he's highlighted to us that there is a requirement for somebody like him to be in the side. Now, if we get promoted to the Premier League, I like Joe Rothwell. I think he's a very good player. He's very solid and he's very good at what he does at the top of the Championship. I think that this might be a controversial take. I think if we were to sign Joe Rothwell on a permanent when we go up to the Premier League, I think it might show a lack of ambition, because I think, like I said at the start, what has happened is I think that Joe Rothwell has highlighted to us what type of player we need. Not that we need Joe Rothwell. It is the unfortunate thing for him. This is just my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. But I think it highlights the need for us to go out and buy a solid, good Premier League quality number 8 who can go forward and attack as well as mix it up in the defensive side of things as well. So look, if we went up, we've got however many midfielders we've got. So Ampadu, who can play in there, which will probably end up signing a centre-back as well, hence my video the other day if you want to check that one out. So we have an abundance of midfielders. We've got Ampadu, who can play in midfield, Tanaka, Gruev, Rothwell, all 4 players vying for those 2 positions. And I think if we did sign Rothwell, we would still have to sign somebody else as well. And I don't know whether that money might be better off spending an extra £7.5 million or an extra £5 million on an attacking midfielder. Let me just check something actually, because I want to know what Rothwell's contract is, because if it's really short, then there's a chance that we do get him for cheap. And it would mean that it might be worth doing a little bit more. Let's have a little look here on Transfermarkt. So his market value is €2 million, but I think they'll try and get more out of us. So maybe 5 million, maybe €5 million. He is 30 years old as well, so it's not like he's a spring chicken in football terms. It's not like he's a spring chicken. Okay, so his contract does expire on May 31st, 2025. So if he doesn't sign a new contract with Bournemouth, there's a chance that we actually get him on a free, in which case it's going to be a no-brainer to take him on board and then get somebody else as well to do that similar job that he does. So what I think is that if he signs a new contract with Bournemouth and then they try and get money out of us, then I think, look, it's a no-go. It's not worth doing. If he doesn't sign a new contract and we get him for really cheap or free, then it's worth it. But I think that we will still need another midfielder as well in his mould. But I do think it's a positive that it's highlighted to us this season that we do need somebody like Joe Rothwell in there, because at times we've looked toothless. It makes me worry a little bit for the Premier League, just in terms of our ability to be able to go forward and create chances when we are going to be sat back a lot of the time. I am going to be doing a deep dive. I don't know whether that's going to come out tomorrow or it'll come out at some point. I'm planning a video where I basically talk about the tactics of Daniel Farke and whether this time he'll succeed in the Premier League and whether he can adapt his tactics and maybe look a little bit at the way he can do that. But I still worry a little bit about our ability to create chances and score goals if we do go up to the Premier League, because, like I said, with Joe Rothwell in there, he helps us out. But if he's out, our chance creation suffers. And I also think that Aronson's one we need to look at, because he can't continue to be our only number 10. If we get promoted to the Premier League, we need a really good number 10 for chance creation. So, look, there's a lot to be excited about in the future. There's a little bit to be worried about as well. But for now, we're concentrating on the league. And this video is being recorded before the West Brom game, but off the back of two great results against Sunderland and against Sheffield United. So at the moment, we're in high spirits. We're on 75 points. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this, we'll be on 78 points and you'll have just enjoyed that over the weekend. But yeah, let's hope that we can get up to the Premier League and then we can worry about it then. But in the meantime, there'll be plenty of preparation videos in terms of transfers, tactics, all that sort of thing about the players that we currently have. So let me know what you think about Joe Rothwell in the comments down below. And yeah, make sure you hit that big red button and make sure you hit the notification bell as well so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.